Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, November 1st, and welcome back to another episode of Style by Stevie. Now, I just tried it on Instagram and I was not able to see Rhonda. So hopefully it should be able to do it this way. Let me see if it'll work this way. Hopefully it should work this way a little bit better than on IG Live. I'm waiting for the comments to appear. Okay, I see you, Chrissy. She keeps calling and I'm trying to add her. And then I'll add her that way. Let me see. I haven't done it this way. Yes, the connection is kind of slow because I haven't done it in so long. But let me go ahead and look for Rhonda. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get it right because this is Rhonda's first time ever doing a live interview or doing Facebook and doing IG Live. So give it a minute, y'all. We're going to get it right. All right, there we go. Now let me add her on camera. Hopefully it should work this time. It says joining. Give it a minute. Chrissy, y'all, can y'all see me? I know the comments will be kind of delayed. Everything will be kind of delayed. I probably won't be able to see it until the last minute of the interview. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. What just happened? Let me try to bring her back up. It's been my second time. It's been so long since I've done IG Live. Yes, there we are. Now I can see the comments. Come on in, y'all. It's saying adding. So give it a minute. In the meantime, between time, I need you guys to get out and vote. This election is very critical, and the stakes couldn't even be even higher. It's a lot on the plate. I need you guys to get out and vote. Yes, it is actually me. You're seeing me. I know you guys are used to seeing the beauty shots, the fashion, the glamour, but this is bigger than anything else. I need y'all to get out and vote. And like I said, if you're in the Georgia area, to my ladies out there, please be careful. Um, these groups that are supporting Donald Trump, yes, they are dangerous. And make no mistake that they would have no issue with causing harm to any of us. So make sure that you are going with someone to the polls. Do not go alone, especially at night. Defend yourself. Be safe out here, y'all, because it's really real. This is not the time for games or anything else. I need y'all to be focused and critical. This election is not one that you can set out. And I've already casted my vote already. It's taken a very long time to add Rhonda. So y'all forgive me. Again, we apologize about the technical difficulties. But yeah, we've got less than 3 days left until election. Tomorrow makes 3 days. Yesterday, I just celebrated my 31st birthday, and I want to say thank y'all all so much for just giving me so much love throughout the years, supporting me throughout the years. It's adding Rhonda, but I don't. It says no answer. Rhonda, you got to pick up. I'm gonna try it again. I see y'all coming in. I see y'all. Don't be afraid to comment. Yes, it's me. It's me. It's me in the flesh. We're having some technical issues here, Fashion Doll. So give it a minute. But in the meantime, if you're in the Virginia area, make sure that you check to see if your registration is good, because they're going to pull out every shenanigan possible, last minute ditch efforts to try to purge voters off the rolls. They're going to do everything possible, even to filing the frivolous lawsuits. We see them doing that. So please make sure that you are set, you are registered to vote. If you're in Georgia, today is the last day, unfortunately, for early voting. I've already did mine. I voted for Madam VP Harris, and it's only one clear present choice of who's fit to be president and who's not fit to be president. And we see that, and I hope y'all all see that comparison as well too. All right. So let me try to add Rhonda again. I don't know what is going on today. Wait a minute. It says joining. There we are. Perfect. Welcome. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can y'all hear her?
Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, 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 yes. Welcome to the dollhouse.
Thank you, darling.
It is such a pleasure to have you here. So before
Thank
we get
you.
off this interview, how has 2024 been for you so far?
2024 has been fabulous. I mean, excellent. I have met so many new people. You, Miss Stevie. I attended the luxury gala that's hosted by Samara Kizminski, and it has been an awesome ride for me since attending that gala.
Yes, 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 yes. So you are known as the Belita Princess. Now, before we get
Absolutely.
your I like to start from the beginning with all of my guests. I like to start to know their journey from then to now. Now,
Okay.
you grew up the eldest child of your family, and
Yes.
you were born into the music industry. Growing up, at what age did you discover that passion for music? Because you do it all. You are an actress, you are a singer, you are an author.
Okay. When I was about 6, my father started me off with piano lessons, and my father loved music. I mean, music played 24/7. Okay. And we started off with piano lessons, but he noticed that Rhonda likes to sing. And so he enrolled me in voice lessons once a week with Eleanor Boaz of Boaz Studios. And everything just started to roll after then. They put me in more piano lessons, guitar, modeling, acting lessons. So I did everything, imaginable to make it successful for me.
And your career in the industry spans over
For
45 years.
45 years. I have
Yes.
been singing professionally since I was 9.
Wow. It's the passion.
It's
That's
a passion.
the
It's a love. It's just like in me.
So, who were some of your favorite musicians growing up that you
Growing
listened
up, growing up, I liked, remember, I'm a 50s baby now. So I listened to Duke Ellington, Frank Sinatra, Dakota Staton, Billie Holiday. I mean, I didn't think it was anybody like Nancy Wilson. And I just loved music, that type of music. I mean, I do a lot of that even now.
Wow. And your career continues on. I see some of the influences that you just named. And you
Hmm.
studied under the renowned Eleanor Boaz. Tell us
Boaz, yes.
what was that
Um,
experience like?
that she just kind of took me in as her own personal protege. I think what she saw is something in this little black girl that's different, and she wanted to steer my career and my musical abilities. She wanted to bring out everything. So she taught me how to take a piece of music and just look at it. And I've never heard it before, but because I could read music, she showed me how to sight read. So I could sing the song before I heard anybody play it.
Mm. And that's a gift in itself. That is definitely a gift in itself. Now, your dad told you to pick up, go ahead and pick up some sheet music. He picked out what was then called sheet music.
Sheet
Now, for
music,
you,
right.
what were some of the other lessons as well that your father has taught you growing up as a young musician?
Well, as a music, well, first of all, my father was a baseball player. He started out in the minor leagues, the Kansas City Monarchs. And my father's career did not go forth because he had vitiligo, because he was actually selected to play with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And after the training camp, the doctor told him his case with vitiligo was so severe that he could not withstand the sun, so they could not pick him up to play. This is where I wrote the book, and I became an author of Numbers 35 and 53, The Case of the Brown Paper Bag. So growing up in my household with music all around me all the time, this brought me into just, I love music. And we are in the store every couple of days, just picking up sheet music, looking at music, listening. And one of the things he did not want me to do was copy somebody else's sound. He wanted me to have originality.
And that is key and Rhonda, I tell people that all the time, even with me working in fashion. I tell people that it is important that if you're going to be in the fashion industry, you're working with a lot of designers, a lot of different styles. Everybody has their own way of doing it. And I tell
Exactly.
people this all the time. Originality is key. So you have your personality, this person has their personality, and the next person has their personality. And be original, develop your own thing. So I'm glad your father was absolutely right.
Yeah, and I mean, I just from that and going into modeling and acting, it was just kind of a circle, you know, for me. Um, and my father died suddenly in 1983 from a
Sorry.
heart attack at 47 years old. And a lot of it was brought on by the challenges that he faced. I mean, what you all know now as the lottery. When I was a child, that was called numbers, bolita, okay? And it was an illegal operation. But that's how he earned his wealth as a numbers king, as a bolita king. So that's why I adopted the name the Bolita Princess. So that's how I came up with that tagline. So my band is also called the Bolita Princess and the Black Notes.
Mm.
So
Now
it's been wonderful.
you've mentioned modeling. You've attended the Barbizon School of Modeling.
I
And
did.
I remember picking up 17 magazine. And if you go all the way to the back, you would see 17 magazine would have Barbizon School of Modeling and Acting. It would
Right.
always be an advertisement for it. So what was that experience like
That
attending Barbizon?
that experience. It was once a week for 20 weeks. and you went in and you learned initially how to talk, how to speak, how to walk, and how to apply makeup, you know, and how to dress for success, what looked good. They showed you what colors looked good. You know, I see a lot of people with the wrong outfit. Beautiful lady, but the wrong outfit. Handsome man, but the wrong outfit, you know. So this showed me what to wear and what not to wear. You know, I'm only 5'3", okay? So there are a lot of clothes that I cannot wear because they just don't look good on me because of my height. But then you got my mother, who was 5'11" and weighed 110 pounds, gorgeous, you know, pencil thin, could wear anything, okay?
Yes, and it's important that even with dressing for style, that we go into the proportion, height proportion. I'm 5'7", and I always try to be careful with my proportions and my measurements when I'm dressing and wearing certain things, especially like evening gowns.
Exactly.
That's something that you guys know me for. That's something that I'm notorious for doing, is a nice evening gown. If not an evening gown, then a mini skirt or a crop top. I'm always switching up. I'm always changing up my style. I don't like to stay the same. And that is key in working in the fashion industry. Now, it's speaking of industry, you also attended you also went to you attended college, and you've earned your AA, your AS, your BS in business administration. What was that
Yes.
experience?
Well, I started out at what we call a junior college at the time, and I got an AA and an AS from there. Then I went to the historical HBCU, Edward Waters College. It's now called Edward Waters University, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. I encourage any and everybody to attend an HBCU. You know, if you
Absolutely.
want to get the attention that you deserve, go to an HBCU.
And you couldn't be any clearer than that. What advice would you give to the students out here now? Because I know we just had homecoming not too long ago, and some colleges, and we're seeing a
Right.
boom of all of these young, black, gifted, talented students who are excelling in film production, who are excelling
This
in
is the
music.
only thing that I can tell you, and it's just the words of wisdom that my father gave me. He said, "Rhonda, get an education, get a degree. If you never use it, nobody can take it from you, sweetheart."
Come on,
Okay.
girl.
So, I mean, yes, I have a degree in business administration with a minor in marketing and management, but I have worked in every area of business that has been unrelated to marketing. I've worked in the banking industry, collections, housing, because Rhonda had to keep Rhonda fed. Okay. Rhonda had a daughter that she raised after her divorce. My daughter went to an HBCU, Edward Waters University, majored in psychology. So I always believe you can get as much education as you can, but then you can still pursue your other goals as well. But always have something. I have got this paper and you cannot take it from me.
And I'm gonna go back to what you just said also too about getting an education. And I want everybody to take heed. In this climate that we're in right now, this other person is talking about dismantling the Department of Education. For Black and Brown students, historically Black colleges, Morehouse, Spelman, Howard, Prairie View A&E, is so many. And Edward, listen, education is important, and we cannot take this for granted. This man wants to get rid of the Department of Education. We need that for Black and Brown students. And do you know how long and how hard our people had to fight for us to have the right to read, the right to write, the right to learn, the right to exist? It's important that you go out here and critical that you educate
It
yourself and get an
it
education.
definitely is. You know, during the summer, what I do, I live in an apartment complex, and the kids here, I'll sit outside with them, and we'll sit outside and eat popsicles. But I challenge them, bring me 5 words that you did not know the definition to, and let's talk about those words so you'll be able to use them when school goes back in session. You don't want to be the person that knows the least. You want to be the person that knows the most, and you want to be well read. I love my daughter. I mean, I know everybody loves their children, but my daughter reads at least 3 books a week. She has learned to read so early, and we would go to the library and she'd have 7 or 8 books, when she was like 6 years old. And this is what I keep pushing: read. And if you don't know the definition to a word, it's okay. Look it up.
And the resources are there for you.
More resources that were there when I was a kid, because I had Webster, the dictionary, okay, and a set of encyclopedias. That's how I had to learn. Nobody had home computers. In 1981, when I graduated from college, there were not home. People didn't have home computers. Now I've got 3, 4 computers sitting here. But use what you've got. But also, I'd like to see people go in and open a book and sit down and read that book.
And we're seeing more and more of the youth get out here and read as well, too, more than ever, especially the next. Well, I'm a millennial. I just turned 31 yesterday. But
a baby.
I'm encouraging the ones that are coming after me, because I'm not going to be 31 forever. I want the ones to know that are coming right after me, following in my footsteps, who want to host a platform. You make sure that you do everything possible. You do your research. And I'm going to go back to what you said. You said you don't want to know, the least, you want to know the most. I want to
know the most.
Listen, they are so quick to turn a blind eye on the Black kids in the school system.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make any sense. Y'all be ready to, even the bad ones, y'all ready to put them out. But here's the thing. You make sure that you let them know who you are. You let them know who you are. You don't let them erase your existence. You say, hey, I need help too. Don't overlook me. You got to demand the help.
And
help you.
Don't be ashamed that you don't know something. See, I will stop you. If I'm in a training class and everybody else has a puzzled look on their face, I'm that person that will stop that facilitator and say, excuse me, but you're going to have to bring that to Rhonda one more time so Rhonda can understand. And then that's when everybody else in the room said, I'm so glad you said something, because I really didn't understand. I want to understand. When I got into the music industry, learning as a child, I wanted to understand how to transpose music. How does it modulate? What makes this sound? I remember getting into a little, argument with someone a couple of years ago. I said to them, and I mean, they are a prolific keyboard player. And I said to them, C# is the same thing as what? And they just had this look on their face. And I said, and you're the church musician? I said, you don't know that C# and D flat are the same thing. So you've got, in this business, you've got to be able to work quick. You've got to know what you know and know it well.
I'm telling you. And especially in this day and age, in this climate that we're in right now, where some of us are taking these things that our parents, that our ancestors that fought way before us, they never had. We're fortunate enough to have them. So do not take this for granted. Your education, don't take that for granted. To anybody who wants to host a platform, or anybody that wants to get into music, to write, to produce, to want to create their own create whatever it may be, make sure that you are out here educating yourself. Don't hesitate to ask questions. The research is out there for you.
I encourage people, especially when they're starting their own business, nonprofits and stuff.
Yeah.
I encourage them, go to the local university. They have people there that will instruct you so you can do it right. They call them small business development centers. Yes. They're at every university. Go in and say, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me start my nonprofit. Help me create a mission statement. You know, have a plan with what you want to do. And I keep telling people, and you're still going to have a job too while you're working.
Something to fall back on.
Right.
Exactly.
I work every day. There was a time when my band was playing every Tuesday night at one particular place. I would leave my job at the credit union, come home, take a shower, and head straight to that club. You because that's what I wanted to do. I have been blessed, Miss Stevie. I have been so blessed to have been surrounded by some of the best musicians, I say, that walk the planet. I have an MD by the name of John Flip Taylor. I put him up against any keyboard player. Jarvis Bradswell, he plays keys for me. I have drummers. Ryan Sinclair heads my percussion session. I mean, when I tell you, I walk up and I'll say something to Pablo. I say, Pablo, okay, I want you to take the lead in this. Sing something from Frank Sinatra. He sings and he plays saxophone. So, I've got Jeremy that plays drums. So I've got a whole lot of people that do a whole lot of things to make this work, And guess what else you have to be at when you're a musician? You've got to be humble. You've got to be humble in this business. When I'm hosting a show, if somebody in the audience wants to sing, guess what I say? Here's the mic, baby. Come on up and join us. And you'll be surprised who's in the audience.
And not just that, but also confidence. You got to make sure that you are sure that this is what you want to do, because there's so many people say, oh, I want to be a singer, I want to be an actress. But it's not as easy as you think it is. So
it is not.
That you are putting in the work. Even with me, with hosting this platform, I'm back where I first started this platform on, which is Facebook. And it's so crazy because I'm typically doing my interviews on IGTV, Instagram. And I like it better because you get to interact with so many different people. Whereas here you got close friends and family is very intimate. I like that too, because family gets to see she's working, she's doing her thing, she's cooking, as the children would say nowadays. But this is it. This is key and critical and important that the next generation, because we're talking about legacy. We're talking about legacy and leaving a legacy
right
to the next generation. Like I'm 31 and go ahead, Rhonda, I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, when I wrote my book, people think things are so easy to do. When I wrote this book, it took me almost 2 years, Miss Stevie, to write this book, okay? And it was hard, okay? Because I'm talking about, one, affairs of the heart. I'm bringing back to life a man that has been gone for over 40 years. And it was hard, but I think that he was there with me when I was writing it. I could feel him in the room.
And spirit. Again, that legacy. Your dad left a legacy. And I took it on that legacy as well as your mom. So I mean, we talk about the next generation, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday on my birthday. I said, oh, so you're not gonna text me happy birthday? He said, how old are you? I said 31. So he was just like, you lucky, you still young. The same thing you said, Rhonda. And he said, I'm 39 because we're both young. But I said, I'm getting up there. So I mean, time is not promised to no one. Yeah, you can be here today and this age and then going tomorrow. Make sure that you are preparing your legacy. I have an 11-month-old nephew. And one thing I want to be remembered for is the fact that I stood up for what is right, making sure that he has a decent education. He's already in daycare and he's gotten accustomed to it. He loves it. He's interacting with the other kids. And that's what we want for the next generation. To make sure they have a decent education as well, so that they know the side of the business, because there's a dark side to this business as well too, as it pertains
definitely.
To the music, to the production and writing aspect of it. It is important that we get out here and we educate ourselves. There's so many resources out here. Use them. Whereas our ancestors, as I've mentioned, and the people that came previously before us, they wasn't as lucky. They didn't know, they went in head first, and then they got the shock of their lifetime. So it's important that we tell this next generation coming up, you make sure you go to school, you educate yourself, you have a backup plan to fall on. And as the orange man would say, and not, I'm glad you said a plan, because he said a concept of a plan. We don't want a concept of a plan, y'all. We want a plan. And planning takes action. I write things down. I create
I
vision boards.
exactly. You know, and writing is not as easy as people think that it is, because writing, you rewrite and you rewrite and you recompose. If I'm writing music, if I'm working on a book, um, it's a challenge, and you got to stay focused.
Yes.
You know, my girlfriend and I talk a lot. She's a really good friend of mine. She's my college mate. And she said, Rhonda, keep your focus. Stay focused. You know, she'll see me kind of drifting sometimes. She said, no. She said, Chica, stay focused. you know. So anything that you want to do, I think, is achievable. But
Yes.
sometimes people get too antsy and want it to come, the success to come right now, right now, right now, right now. And I've been singing since I was 9. I've been acting and modeling, and here I am at 65, and I have been in 4 magazines in the last 4 months. It's my time. You know, God has been so good to me.
All
You
the
know,
time, girl. All the time.
and I just look, and like the song says, as I look back over my life, and I think things over. He has been awesome to me, and he has never failed me.
I'm so glad that you said that. It was one line that Whoopi Goldberg said in Sister Act, in the first one. And
My MD just joined. His name is John Flip Taylor. Tell John hi. He is the baddest brother on keys you'll ever meet.
hi, John. Welcome to the
Say
doghouse.
Flip. Hey,
Hey,
Flip.
Flip. Um, I was watching Sister Act, with Whoopi Goldberg, and there was one line in the movie where she's just like, everybody wants to play catch up. We want things in an instant. It's instant. You gotta work hard for it. You gotta grind for it.
You
And
got to.
a lot of people start off in the industry at a very young age, not know what they're getting themselves into. And as they grow older in the years throughout the industry, I give you an example, Drew Barrymore. I love Drew
Mm-hmm.
Barrymore, one of my favorite actresses, along with Holly Berry. They all started off at a young age. And then as they've gotten older, it's just like, wow, what would I go back in time and tell my younger self? So it is
Yes.
important that we stay grounded. More importantly, to what Rhonda just said a few minutes ago, staying humble. And my mom, when I told her I wanted to host a platform, host a talk show, she, as any parent, should be concerned, because we've all gotten that look like, you want to do what? You're going to go to school, you're going to keep your head in those books. And that I managed to do. I managed to graduate, you know, got my cosmetology license, all of these good things that have just been happening because I buckled down and I applied myself. I was always a little bit of a teacher's pet, because I've always would ask and stay over for extra help if I needed it. I would ask questions. I would always be inquisitive. I would always take notes. I would always go back and review, and I would record things and play it back to myself, especially for social studies. Like I would, find
Right.
instrumentals and just be creative with it. And I would record my notes and I would do it over. I remember one time I did it over, I think it was a Janet Jackson song, and I did the instrumental over it, and I just played it back and played it back, and I remembered, and I aced that test.
See,
So find a strategy that works for you. Exactly.
and you have to keep plugging. It's gonna come, but it's up to you to keep plugging after it. And surrounding yourself with positive people. See, negativity breeds negativity. I align myself with positive people. And here lately, I have watched people are dropping out of my life that are supposed to be gone.
It goes back to what I just said, which is to y'all, the young Gen Z, Gen X. I'm like auntie to y'all. We're like aunties to y'all in a way. But listen, life is not promised to nobody. If you want to go to college,
Nobody.
you make sure that you apply. And of course, you're going to get a rejection letter. Who hasn't been told no? Trust me, I've been told no all my life. But listen, I went and I created my own opportunity. And sometimes you have to go and
Exactly.
create your own opportunity. If nobody, Shirley Chisholm has a quote like this: if someone doesn't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. That means
Exactly.
you were destined to be there. You were destined for greatness. You were
Exactly.
destined
See,
because you have a purpose.
no is just a word, two letters, okay? And we've all heard it before, but that next door that you knock on, they may say yes. So, we have a saying here, closed mouth don't get
Come
fed, okay?
on,
So
girl.
now everything I want, I am asking for it. I asked, I was in the magazine. I asked Mickey in the magazine. I'm asking some other people for some things now, and they're like, let me think about that, and I'm going to get back to you. I'll be at the Oscar Luxury Gala on May 2nd, 2025. I'm inviting people to come out. If they follow me on social media, Rhonda Stansberry, they'll see the link where they can go in and come out and join us. When I tell you everybody that is anybody, Miss Stevie, is at this gala. You know, Earl Toon was there last year. The Great Scepter was there last year. Even the lady that played on Young and the Restless, she played the maid, and Esther, she was there. It just doesn't get any bigger and better than the luxury gala.
Absolutely. Surround, and it goes back to what you just said as well, too, Rhonda, which is surround yourself with like-minded people. And
Like-minded
I've made
people.
this to surround myself with like-minded people. My mom, she always told me, she said, not everybody ain't your friend now. You surround yourself with like-minded people. And
Right.
when I tell y'all, I feel so confident, I feel so happy because I have people who uplift me, who are like-minded, who are passionate, who are driven, who support me the same way that I support
With
them. And
them.
whenever they have a platform or something, I'm always checking them out, supporting them, shouting them out, and vice versa.
Exactly. Uplifting them. I got invited. It's the craziest story how I got invited to the luxury gala. A gentleman that I'd worked with for years in the construction industry was friends with Crystal Snow. And Crystal Snow has a show called Angel Dust. Okay. And she's out of Calgary, Alberta. So she started reading my book. She has read my script. So now we're working on a movie. Okay. So she said, why don't you come out to LA for the luxury gala? And I was like, sure. And when I went, I'm like, I got a chance to walk the red carpet. Then Steve sticks the mic in my face and says, he asked me, what did I do? And I told him who I was and what I did. He says, well, sing. And bam, I started singing Satin Doll on cue, you know. So, I don't think I'll ever get that type of opportunity again. But it's a once in a lifetime. But I was there. It was great. I'm saying, hey, follow me on social media. Check out the Oscar Gala for March 2nd, 2025 at the Hilton. It is, oh my God, it's wonderful. I had such an awesome time.
And listen to anybody out there. You make a note. I always keep a note of everything that I do, a mental note, and then I write things down as well too, or put them in my phone. Make sure that you are not taking things for granted out here. The resources and the tools are at your dispense. So if you want to be in these rooms, like Rhonda just mentioned, this gala that is coming up, you make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people who think just like you. They have a passion or a purpose, because I've always been mentioned and referenced. People have referenced me to get awards and stuff for hosting this platform. And I see the tags for the boss, what we have what's called the Boss Babe Awards. I appreciate y'all for mentioning me in that and thinking that I'm worthy of receiving an award like that. But the thing is, for me, I still have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of work. I've been doing it a long time. I started right after high school, but we still have a ways to go. You know,
And you have
this
to keep
is
it moving. Just keep it
right.
moving. Keep
Yeah,
it
this is it's
moving.
not a race. It's a sprint. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. It's
Yeah.
coming. I appreciate y'all for thinking that I'm worthy of something like that.
Oh, of
Because
course.
at first I was just like, I I don't see it, but you guys made me. That's that confidence. That's the confidence that I was talking about. And surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. Because there are days, and I can give you an example, where I'm just not feeling my best, and I will go to my mom for reassurance, or my brother K2s will call and check on me like, yo, sis, you good? Everything all right? How's your interview? All of this, they will call and keep me motivated and uplifted. And as Flip just said in the
Yeah,
comments, with
yeah.
God,
Flip. That's my baby. And he is. I'm going to be over to his house later tonight. Flip is going to write all. He and I are going to write all the music for the movie. The movie is entitled Numbers 35 and 53, the Frank Baker story. It will be produced by Break the Train Productions. So I'm already in mode. We are, and if anybody wants to invest, we're ready. The
yes,
script is done. The pitch deck is done. The treatment is done. The lookbook is done. Okay? So it's awesome. And that's what, I'm going to Flip to later tonight, and that's what we're going to be talking about and working on. Because there's nobody I'd rather have work with me with this than him, because he knows how I think. He and a gentleman by the name of Ken Andres, I sent you my music earlier, remember?
yes.
And and they know how I think and how I feel, and how passionate I am about certain music.
And as an artist, and I was telling someone this as well too, when you have a passion like this as far as music and artistry, there's so many independent artists out here. That was going to be my next question to you, as far as the way the shift of the music industry, whereas you're being signed to a label, and now you have artists out here saying, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to be involved throughout the whole entire process. And
Exactly.
especially for what I want the look or the image of the aesthetic of the album to look like. So how do you feel about the rise of these independent artists?
I'm 100% behind them. I don't want anybody to always tell Rhonda what to do with what she's doing. That was the same problem I had with the first person that was going to publish my book. First of
Yeah,
all, you're not going to tell me my story, because I know my story better than anybody else. I know what I want my cover to look like. My cover was designed on my book by Gerald Lilliard. Gerald Lilliard saw my vision. He and I went out to dinner one night, and I told him what I wanted. I met him because I used to be a veteran case manager working with veterans, and he was one of my veterans. He was on my list. And I told him, after I found out he was this, great artist, and I told him what I wanted. And he got home, and in about an hour, he sent me 3 different things. And the last thing that he sent me, I went to tears, because he hit it on the head. Nobody could have outdone this. And you just meet people through the course of your life, and they are excellent at what they do.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
I tell Flip all the time. I said, sweetheart, you don't know how talented you are. I tell him this all the time, because I see it, and how he feels. He's so passionate about his music, and the same way with Ryan, my drummer. My drummer actually went to college with me. Jeremy, Flip's younger brother, he plays drums for me. So, you're working in the room with people that have the same mindset, that want to go places. See, Jacksonville is just a city in a state. I I love the show Empire, and I loved Terrence Howard. And Terrence Howard played this role one night. He told the guy, it was Chris Rock. He said, see, your problem was you wanted to rule the streets. He said, my problem is I want to rule the world. So what he's telling you is there's so much space out there. Think bigger, think out of the box. Hey, that's just how I think. I think it can work.
Absolutely. And that's 100% true. Even with me, my mom always told me, and because I have four brothers and I have two sisters, each and every one of us, whether it may be myself or my two brothers or my sister, she always told us to make sure that we go after what our heart's desires is. And you let people know. She told us also never to back down, stand up for
Never.
what's right, never back down. And she's a Libra, I'm a Scorpio. So I think I
I'm a
inherit some of that fight.
Libra. I'm a Libra.
And that's why we're clicking.
Yeah.
I think I inherit some of that feistiness and that fire from her because I get the passion to stand up for not just myself, but other people and for what's right and making sure that everybody gets what is due to them, especially
Well,
if you could be paid equally, fairly. If you're not getting the same treatment that another student is getting, you go to that teacher and you let them know, hey, I need help too. That's what I was saying. You make them know that you're there. If they could try to erase your existence, but you let them know that you're there. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. You let them know who you are.
oh, I can see what I tell people. I can stand my ground. I don't need anybody's help. I can stand my own ground, and I experience it a lot daily. You know, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. You walk into the store, people try to ignore you. I am not to be ignored because I'm paying. I had a gentleman, and I know this is so crazy. I'm in the store buying some chicken for my daughter, and she likes flats. And I said to him, I said, I need 20 flats. He said to me, I can only give you 15. I said, sweetheart, you have that wrong. You're not giving me anything. I'm buying it, and you're going to give me the 20 flats. I mean, I'm buying. Why shouldn't I get what I want? That's life.
Absolutely. Hard to see your potential when you are going through at the same time. And when you look at your loss. Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt. And the thing about it is you show up in these spaces. You show up in these spaces and you greet everybody, you cordial, hey, how you doing or whatever. And then it's like they try to diminish your existence. It's like, hello, I'm here too. And that's the problem that I had with the education system, black and brown students not being treated fairly, not being treated fairly. The teacher's so quick to give up on them. So you let them know that you're there. And if you need help, you ask for help. You make them help you. And if they don't help you, go to somebody else until they do.
And a lot of the kids will come and they'll knock on my door and they'll say, "Hey, Miss Rhonda, I need a little help on this. I don't quite know what I'm doing." And I'll stop what I'm doing and let them sit at my table. And I say, "Okay, baby, you didn't read this." When I was a kid, we did reading and we also did reading comprehension. I have no idea what they're doing if they're doing that now in the school system. But just because you can read does not mean you comprehend what you read. Okay? You just kind of, oh yeah, I know the words, but what do those words mean in that sentence? You know. So like I said, I like to read. I like to know things, read about things that I know nothing about. I like to be well informed. If I'm going somewhere and I have no idea what that speaker is going to be speaking about, really, I'm going to go and read up on it so I can have some knowledge. So I won't feel like, oh my goodness, that just went over my head. No, I won't do that.
And it's important for all of us to get out here and pick up a book and read. And what's so sad is that the education system, black and brown kids, are not reading enough. They're not reading at that core level enough. And it's just like there's so many ways that we shouldn't be failing them. We should not be failing them. They should be treated equally the same way the other children should be treated. And
Absolutely.
reading the same way they're reading as well too. And it's sad. Sad.
Well, they did not integrate the schools here until about 71. So I was in going to high school when the schools here stopped being segregated. So we were with our own, and that's when the teachers took more pride in making sure you understood what they taught. You know, you knew where Florida was on the map, you know. And I know that sounds crazy, but I remember someone got in trouble in fourth grade because he did not know where Florida was on the map. You know, he got in a whole lot of trouble. But those are the small things that they don't know. You know, I asked someone the other day about something, and they didn't know what a calculator was. But like, you're a college graduate, and they really did not know what a calculator was. So, but anyway, you know, reading is fundamental, education is key, and loving God is the ultimate.
All the time. All the time. My mom, she's instilled that into me, is making sure that you're loving, make sure that you're nurturing. And I think I get that nurturing spirit from her more than anything. And not just the nurturing
Yeah.
spirit, but that sternness of letting people know, you know, not letting people walk all over you, but standing up for others as well too, and being mindful and kind to others as well. So I get those
Yeah.
things from
And,
her.
it's so easy, Miss Stevie, to be kind. It's easy to be kind to someone. You know, I've had people say, you know, I go into this one particular store all the time, the Dollar General, and they say, here she comes again, you know, because they know I'm going to make them laugh. You know, if y'all don't have my gummy worms, I'm probably going to have a fit, you know, and they just laugh. But it's all about being happy. If you continue to be happy and make yourself happy and surround yourself with laughter during the day, your day is going to go a whole lot better. Trust me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's to anybody out here. So this conversation is good, and I hope you all are taking some gems from this conversation, and this can help as well too. We covered music, we covered film production, we covered modeling, we've covered everything in this interview. So before we wrap, Fashion Dolls, Rhonda, are there some gems that you would like to give to the next generation, with you being an
If
icon
you've
in this?
got an idea, bring it to fruition. It's
Come on.
no good just written on a piece of paper. Bring it to fruition. Start making things happen, and you'll be surprised at what you end up with.
Telling you, instead of just dreaming, it's okay to dream, but make it happen. Put that plan into action. My dream was always, and you guys might not notice about me, I love hair. I love to do hair. And before the interview, Rhonda was like, okay, I'll make sure the hair and stuff, because she complimented me on my hair. I was like, girl, yes, I'm always changing up my hair. And if you guys know me, I change up my hair and my style and my fashion a lot. So listen, my
Yeah.
dream was always to open a hair salon. And I've put it into fruition. I've jotted things down. I've made sure, okay, I've looked at buildings of where I want, what I want my ideal salon to look like. Take it into action. Put those things into action. Don't just sit there on a vision, but make it happen. Take action. And I want you guys to do that. Very easy to be kind, but it seems like it brings you to the worst people instead of their best. Listen, you avoid, you even if the ones, it's just like in New York, because my father's from New York. You know how they are in New York, where they walk
Pass
past you, or you say good
you
morning to
and don't
them.
even
Yeah,
speak.
exactly. And and the thing about it is, it's like, well, what, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed? What's going on? And it's just like, you still speak to them anyway. Speak to them anyway.
And keep it moving. And
Exactly.
keep it moving. They are, you pass them and they're gone. You know, I just, you let them be who they are and you be who you are. And I wrote in my book, my dreams have dreams. I'm going to keep it moving.
Absolutely. I think it was Sherry Shepherd. Sherry said she had an experience like that because she was in a good mood and she was saying, you happy like when you said you go in the store and they laugh when you come in because you make them laugh. Sherry likes to make people laugh too, and she said this. She said that she was in New York. This is the first time when she did her show, and she was speaking to somebody. She was speaking to everybody. Good morning. They were happy to see her, and then this one person in particular was just like had a bad day. Well, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna make you happy anyway, whether you like it or not. You never know what a person could be going through, but
Exactly.
still make them put a smile on their face because you never know. A smile can do a lot to somebody.
Yeah,
It can make them feel good about themselves. We don't even have to know the situation, but a smile alone
exactly.
can make a person's day. A joke, a kind word can make a person's
Person's
day.
day. It can change the outcome of their day. I've had people say, until you got here, I was feeling so bad, but I knew when you got here, you were going to say something crazy, and then we were going to all laugh because that's just me. I've spent too many years and too much time feeling horrible in my life, you know. So, hey, I got a beautiful daughter. I've got wonderful friends. Got great musicians with me, and we laugh and we talk, and life is good. Life is good.
All the time, all the time, fashion dolls. So I'm going to conclude today's show with today's final thought,
Thank
which comes from
you, Miss Stevie, for having me on your show. It has been my pleasure to talk with you. I got to thank Nikki for us meeting. It's been wonderful. It's
you too, girl.
been a
I had such
blessing.
a great time. You are a breath of fresh air, Rhonda, because I have been going through it. When I tell you this has been one of the most crazy election cycles I have ever seen, y'all. This woman has kept me so sane. Rhonda just sending me her stuff. If not you, then shout outs to my girl on IG Hypnotic Skincare. Y'all have kept me grounded. Y'all hear me? Because I have been out here in the paint. But listen, today's final thought comes from the late Maya Angelou. And we covered this in today's conversation. It's about defeats and not giving up. We covered all of that in today's conversation.
Absolutely.
She says this. She says you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. And she
Okay.
says, in fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeat. So
Come
you can
on.
know
Come
who
on.
you
Yes.
are. She also says what you can rise from and how you can still come out of it. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have obstacles. Keep going. Do not give up. There have been days where I just want to give up. And my mom was like, because she's Christian as well too. She said, you know what? You put God first in everything you do. You're not too big for this industry. Don't get such a big head that you forget who you are, where you come from. Because she had her concerns as any parent who said, their child wants to get into the business or host a platform or whatever. She's always
Right.
instilled, you don't forget where you came from. You put God first in everything that you do. And
Right.
God brought you through all of these things. He'll take you through it as well, too, as the test of time. That's what she told me. So you're going to have
Yeah.
obstacles. You're going to have roadblocks.
Of course.
Like we talked about being told no, a college rejected from, a college admission or whatever. But listen, there's other opportunities on the other side. You surround
Okay.
yourself with
With
those people who are willing
positivity.
to, yes, positivity, and block out the negativity. You're going to have
Hmm.
people who are going to say, no, you can't do it. I've had people who tell me I can't do it. I can't host a platform. You can't do this. And I've proved them wrong countless time and time again. So you have to get to the point where you start proving people wrong.
See,
Again, show
you
them who
got
you are.
Miss Stevie. You got to come out to LA. You got to come out to LA with us.
Oh, girl, I need to. I need to for real.
You will have a wonderful time. Oh my God, you'd have a wonderful time. Uh, just my shout out. I have to do a shout out to Samara Kizmini. Put me in the Hollywood Elite not once but twice. I mean, that's a blessing. She's a
Yeah.
doll. I love her. I mean, our spirits meet, and I call her my little niece. She's just so awesome and just so she has a heart of gold. And to put on that gala that she puts on, it's awesome. So
And shout out to
M-
Mick as well. To Mick, if you're in here
Oh my
watching,
God,
thank
Mickey, she's in Madrid, Spain, and she did all of that in the magazine for me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this, and we've got some other things that we're working on because my daughter and I write short stories, murder stories. So we're working on that for Mickey too. So we got it. It's happening. Life is good.
And I want you guys to keep that faith, keep up that optimism, keep up that enthusiasm. Don't stop, keep going. And if you have to change who you are as a friend, then that's not your friend. Exactly, Flip.
Exactly.
You have to let some people go. They're not worth your time. Don't hold on to them. They are just an obstacle in your way. They are a block in your way. So keep going.
Absolutely.
All right.
And you
So
blessed by the best.
absolutely. And it's not unintentional. It's intentional. You have a purpose. So remember that.
Absolutely. Love you, Miss Stevie. Thank you so much. It's been
Love
wonderful.
you too,
Smooches.
girl.
All right.
Mwah. We got to have you back on
Love you.
again.
All
Love you
right,
too.
darling. Thank you.